Hello everyone, good morning. Okay, so guys, tell me, what about your Docker grid setup? Did you try this scenario? See, let me start Docker first, okay? So, how we can start the Docker? What I told to you, you just need to come to the location where you have stored the Docker file, correct? So, at this moment, this is my Selenium grid Docker file. Just open command prompt from the same and write a command, okay? That, let me just come to the GitHub where you will get the command. So I will just write Selenium Docker. Okay, GitHub. Let me just come to this Selenium HQ site. That's it. And we have discussed that whenever you have a compose file structure, right? Means let me first come to that compose file. If I come to the execution mode, and if you just scroll down the page, you will able to see Docker compose. Okay. And there, let me come to this part. So whenever you wanted to run the command, actually this is the command they have given, docker compose -f, right? Docker compose version 3 YAML up. So let me follow the same command. And whenever you start execution, it should definitely start the Docker file. But wait, currently I'm getting error during connect. The node which is open, Docker desktop. Okay, engine is I guess stop. Let me check that. So very first, let's confirm engine is started. Let me open Docker desktop. Okay, fine. So engine has to be started, right? Then only you are able to proceed. Yeah. So engine is currently running, right? Okay, great. Now if I can come back and again if I can run the same command. Yeah. Can you see that everyone? So previously, if I don't open Docker desktop, it will not get or it will not recognize engine status, right? Whenever is engine started, you can run the same command from the location and then Docker will be, you are able to access from the port number 4444 because it was just a Selenium grid setup. So you need to write here localhost 4444 and look at the screen. This is my grid setup, correct? What we learned in yesterday class, we have discussed whenever you wanted to create a session with the remote side, then you can use a class name which is remote web driver. And in remote web driver, we need to pass two arguments. One is the server URL, wherever, like whatever server it is and where you wanted to run your code, that server URL, and we need our capability. Capability, why it is important? Because how on the server you will able to instruct the Selenium that okay, on which particular browser you wanted to run your application. So if you want Chrome, if you want Mozilla Firefox, if you want Edge class, then guys in technically in Selenium, for that browser capability, means any session if you wanted to customize for any browser, Selenium's Selenium is actually giving you this kind of classes. This is called capabilities, correct? So if you want Chrome, you can follow Chrome option class. If you want Edge, you can follow Edge options class. So we have already discussed this part in Selenium classes. Agree? So the same point I'm repeating. Whatever browser it is, whatever server it is, that information we are writing here in the constructor of remote web driver. So as soon as you start this session, right, immediately you can see the output inside where? Inside that remote site. But this code is only capable to interact with one browser at a time, right? I wanted to show you cross-browser testing. Means let's suppose I wanted to run my application on all these three platforms. Currently, these three platforms we are having in Selenium Grid. And I wanted to run my session on these three platforms. Absolutely, guys, what you can do, there we need to write a cross-browser testing logic. So again, observe the scenario, understand the topic. I will open your batch. Okay, so it's a weekday batch. This is, let me talk about Maven Selenium Project 2. This is our weekday batch. And yesterday I created this, okay, package, Selenium Grid. And only one test case we have covered so far. Let me write a cross-browser testing code here. So I'm just going to create a testng class. I'm just giving a name. Okay, this is cross-browser test, right? On a grid, remember. So let me create my class. Once the class is ready, so test, let me just write. Okay, let this build everyone. Wait. After this, I will write test. Okay, test this browser. Fine. And guys, what I wanted to do, please have a look. So initially, I will be taking browser name from the user. Okay, means whatever browser you will pass based on that. We should compare on which browser we wanted to create a session. So I'm just taking simple variable. It's a string variable b name. Okay, so I'm just writing b name. So it's a browser name. Fine. And guys, I will put a condition. If browser name it is exact matching equals, which is for exact matching. If it is matching with Chrome, then I would like to start my session on Chrome browser. Agree? Else, I will compare another condition. If browser name, okay, if it is match with what? Equals with what? Let's say Firefox. Then I would like to start my session on the Firefox browser. Else, again I will put a condition. If browser name, it is equals to what? It is equals to, let's say, Edge. In that case, I would like to start the session with the Edge browser. Again, guys, we are going to start a session, but every time if you write driver inside the block, then driver will be local driver. I would like to declare public driver. So I'm just writing here. Okay, driver first at the global level. So let's import WebDriver from Selenium. Keep your mouse pointer and you will get the access. Fine. Then here, how we can create a session? Driver is equal to new. This time, I would like to create a session with the remote driver. Correct now? Remotely, we are trying to run our application. So very first, you need to use remote web driver class. And we know that inside this class, we need to pass two arguments. One is the URL address. Another one is the browser capability. Currently, it is Chrome, everyone. I'm writing Chrome options there. Chrome options. I will be writing cap. It is equal to new Chrome options. Correct? And then one more common variable I need, that is URL. Agree? So what I'm going to do at this moment, inside the method itself, I will design the URL address. URL is equal to new. Yesterday we discussed that it is not supported with the URL. So just write URI and then this is the address. Correct? Server address. Just to copy and provide it here. And then I will use a method to URL, which will convert URI into URL. Fine. And let me import it from java.net package. Let's import URI also from java.net package. Now what I'm going to do is I will pass URL first here and then I will pass capability here. Whenever you write this statement, this is a session. It will always create a session only for a Chrome. But let's import the exception too. So I will just throw the exception as it is the compile time exception. So currently, this code is capable to create a session if the browser matches to Chrome, then only with the Chrome. I would like to create a session with now Firefox. So these two steps are common, right? Only we need to use browser specific class. For Firefox, you need to update, you need to write a class name Firefox options. Remember. So instead of Chrome, I'm writing Firefox options class. Let's import it from the Selenium again. Keep your mouse pointer and import it. Similarly, for age, the class name should be age options class. And here also I will update same. It should be age option class. And let's do import. Again, import it from the Selenium. So everyone, current session, current code is what? Whatever browser name you will pass, it will check the browser and then it will just start a session on that browser. But yes, whenever session gets started, I wanted to print one message. Remote connection, let's say establish. Any message you can write. I'm writing remote connection is established, right? Session started, better. And then I would like to give here little bit pause. I told you the whatever execution we are doing, if you wanted to properly observe that, add some, okay, add some timeout, which is in the format of pause, static pause. So it is a 10,000 millisecond means I'm adding 10 second, correct? And let me throw the exception also. Done. And after that, I would like to open the app driver.get. Okay, the which application? Any application you can open, doesn't matter. Okay, so let me just come to the browser and suppose I'm having this CRM application. Let's say I wanted to open this application. Let's copy the URL. Yeah, any automation you wanted to do, you can write it. Okay, doesn't matter. So example, I will open the app, right? And then I will put here little bit thread again, thread.slip. And suppose this time I'm writing 8,000 millisecond, means 8 second timeout. After 8 seconds, I will say driver dot find element and by dot it is a link text. So if you remember on this application, we have a sign in link. If you wanted to click on this sign in, get the address first. See, sign in link is designed with the anchor tag and the link text is what? Sign in is a link text. So I will just copy and give a text here. Agree? So driver find element whose text is what? Sign in. And then do what? Click on it. That's it. So here also, once it is done, click. I will put little bit thread. I will just mark 5,000, that is 5 second timeout. And after that, okay, I should have a URL. So I'm just writing URL is. And better, I will just print that URL of that page, which is through the method driver dot get current URL. Everyone clear? So it is just a normal Selenium script I have written. And after that, everyone, I would like to quit the browser. I just wanted to quit the browser. How we can do that? Driver dot quit. That's it. Clear? So this is how I have written. And after this, again, let me here write one message. So the message, it was remote connection. It should be connection. Remote connection. Okay. Remote connection is closed and session stop. Fine. Okay, my code is ready. But again, everyone, how you are passing variable to this particular method? So in TestNG classes, we have learned this is called parameterization. If you really wanted to pass any parameter, correct? Then that parameter you can pass it here. How we can pass a parameter? Okay, in TestNG. So there are a way, either you can create property file to pass your parameter, or you can directly create parameter. Okay, you can pass a parameter through the XML file. So what I'm going to do? Better. I'll just create XML file, the file for this particular class. So everyone look at the screen. For this current project, we have already created many XML. So I think last XML we have created, that is ninth one. So let me just design today 10th XML file. If I right click on this class, so whenever you right click on the class and whenever you come to TestNG option, convert to TestNG and give a name. So at this moment, I'm writing 10th. This is for Selenium grid. Okay, this is for Selenium grid.xml. And I will click on next, select the class, and click on finish. So you can see XML file is ready. Now what I'm going to do for this 10th XML file, I wanted to pass a parameter to this class. So currently this is the class where I wanted to pass a parameter. So I'm just writing parameter, okay, attribute. And whenever you write parameter, define a name, define a value. Current name is browser name, that's a variable name. And what the value, suppose if I write age, means if I run this code, the current code will execute on the Edge browser. Agree? But whenever you are passing parameter from the XML, test case should read this parameter, right? So one more requirement is what? You need to add here annotation, parameters. And inside the bracket, inside the round bracket, curly bracket, you need to write that variable name. And let's import parameters from what? Absolutely from TestNG. Clear? And save it. Now everyone, I told you the rule. Whenever we are using XML file for the execution, do not run program from the class. So at this moment, focus. If I start execution, where the code is starting, absolutely code will start execution on that particular Docker. Okay, let me come to the Docker first here and let me open the grid. Can you see? On a grid, it is started. See, age is started. If you wanted to check the result, please go on video and just write a password secret. That's the password they have given. Okay, and see. So currently just we open the page and it should click on the link. We should able to see the next page also. And that is completed. Can you see? We are on the next page because of that click event. And yes, application is closed. Means everything is working fine. Agree? But current code is working on one browser. What I told to you, I wanted to do parallel testing on a grid. How we can do that, everyone? So the first point is, if you remember in parallel session, I have covered the different ways. If you can see this part, we can do parallel execution at a class level, method level, at a test level also. I wanted to run my current code on three different browsers. Means three tests I wanted to run. That's the reason I will first copy this complete test from the suite. Suite is a collection of tests. I will declare like this. This is test number one. This is test number two. And suppose this is test number three. I will change only parameters everyone. First of all, I'm writing means this test case will execute on Chrome, second will execute on Edge, and third test case I wanted to run on Firefox. So please give a same name, whatever name you have written inside your, what I can say inside the class. Clear? Because see, browser name we are passing here, it will compare with your if else condition, which condition is matching, and it will run the code. But I wanted to show you parallel execution. That's the reason I created in this manner my XML file. But one more change, everyone. If I run in this manner, it will run. But it's not a parallel. That will be sequential. Very first Chrome will complete, then your Edge will complete, and then your Firefox test will complete. But I wanted to run this parallel execution. Then at a suite level, you need to just add one argument, parallel. Parallel is equal to, this time I'm selecting test. So whatever test I have written inside the suite, all the test cases I wanted to run parallel. Clear? So right click. Let's start execution. And where you can see the execution? Here inside the grid. See, all three browsers started. If you can see clearly, all three browsers started. Come to the session. You will get a video. Open any video. Password is same, secret. Accept it. Check the result. See, app is open, right? So I wanted to check on different browser. Close the connection. Open Firefox. Let's write again same, secret, and accept the connection. And look at the screen. So at this time, see the second step is also completed. We are landing on the next page and actually execution is completed. So you can see no session is running and upright. So everything executed successfully. And if you can check your result, here you are getting three tests executed successfully. And see all the three sessions started, right? Because it's a parallel run. So it is started immediately, concurrently, and it is running that entire script. So I hope how to perform parallel testing, sequential testing, okay, on a grid. So these two scenarios are enough to understand. Any question? Because see, automation part we have learned in the WebDriver only, right? But this is the extra topics which you need to understand how we can run application on a grid, distributed environment. And this is possible. Okay, we are able to make it possible. Simplest solution to create a grid architecture is the Docker. Through the Docker, whenever you install your Selenium grid, through this port number, you can access the environment and then you can test your app. I hope everyone is clear. What is grid and how you guys are going to test your application. Any question on this? So actually, if it is coming to the Docker, there are many things, right? See this point. Okay. So everyone, we discuss about this part, right? So how we can integrate framework by the different ways. We have already discussed framework. We are pushing on the GitHub and we are testing it through the Jenkins, right? In fact, we are executing the framework. Okay, we are executing the framework. Okay, directly it's like a framework and which is a Maven integration with GitHub, right? It's like a Maven with Jenkins also. So we have already covered how to integrate Maven with Jenkins, how to integrate Maven, GitHub, and Jenkins together. So current framework is a part of a Maven project. So from the Maven project, we are writing or executing our commands on the Jenkins, right? So this part we have already covered. Coming to the Docker, right? So using Jenkins, we have already covered this part. So let me add this point here, right? Now I told you, Docker is another platform through which you are able to create your virtual environment, right? And you are able to test your app. So very first usage of Docker, we have covered Selenium Grid, right? How you can execute application on different environment, that is possible with the Grid. But I told you everyone, nowadays there is a update. Few things, okay, directly you can able to access through the Docker. Like the latest update is what? Whenever you wanted to run any test case in Selenium, right? And if you wanted to generate any report, officially extend report is deprecated, but still the site is available. So I will be covering extend report, but replacement of extend report is what? Chain test report. So if you wanted to run your project and after that, if you wanted to generate a report, then you can have a chain test reporting also. But guys, to run the chain test report, what is important? You should have a Docker. So Docker, another purpose I will be covering to show you chain test report, how you can create for a project. Okay, using Docker. So these two things we are learning from the Docker, right? As a tester, this is what you can contribute. This is how you can contribute to the CI/CD process. Remember the topics. So before this reporting strategies, I would like to cover last topic from TestNG, which is TestNG listeners. Okay. Based on the listeners, I will show you extend reporting first. Then I will show you chain test reporting. And I told you there is a one more reporting style, Allure reporting. That we will see. So after reporting topic, we will continue with our last framework from Selenium, that is Cucumber framework. Okay. Cucumber framework with the actual framework designing, every point I will be covering. Okay, so just have a look. So let's talk today what is listener and how we can, okay, use listener for a current execution. Actually, what happened, you can write multiple test cases. But every time listeners, actually they will listen the events. Okay, listeners always listen events of a test, okay, event of a test, or I will say current event of a test, okay, of a test, and and return the result. Actually, this is very common topic again in APM as well as inside your Selenium. Means whenever you are using TestNG framework, you can actually use listener concept to listen the current event of a test and return the result. So technically, there are many listeners available in the TestNG, but we are going to use, okay, iTest listener. If you can see, I have already prepared one document. I will be sharing this document with you also, but have a look. What is TestNG listener? TestNG listener provide, okay, this is a listener which listens every event that occur in your Selenium or APM program. And generally based on the event listen, right, the particular test, right, or particular test case, these events are activated or we can apply it before and after the test case execution. So basically we have one interface here, ready-made interface, iTest listener. So guys, you need to just implement the iTest listener and see, these are the methods. So if you wanted to start your listener, whenever test case started execution on that point, you can start. After test case execution, if it is success, then this event will execute. If it is fail, then this event will execute. If you wanted to skip the scenario, you can apply this listener. So there are many listener, depends on your requirement. We can create the listener and we can use it. So now let me explain you first this topic. How the listeners will help you, okay, for understanding the result. So at this moment, what is the listener name? I test listener. Very first, what I'm going to do is have a look. In your project, I'm creating one more package. Okay. Let me just design a package. com.test listener. Okay. Test listener. And inside the test listener, I will be creating normal Java class. Okay. I'm writing app listener. Okay. So let me just write app listener. Uh, okay. App listener. Fine. And I'm not taking here any kind of, okay, main function because I just wanted to show you how I'm creating that particular listener, right? So just observe the code very first, everyone. This is my class name. Any listener, if you wanted to start designing, then first to implement. Implement what? What's the interface name? Let me write properly, implements. And what is the interface name? I test listener. This is coming from, Okay, directly testing. Please import it from the testing. And whatever listener event you want, you can design it here. Example, it's like a method. Public void on test. See, there is a first listener available on test start, right? So I'm writing here on test start. As it is, you have to give a name. So on test start, what you wanted to do? I wanted to just take a that particular class name, which test case I'm running, that particular test case name in the console. Fine. So you need current result. Agree? So there is one more class to capture a current status, current result, that is called I test result. Okay. Let me write properly. I test result. Suppose I'm writing a variable for this class result. And let me import I test result also from the TestNG framework. And here I can print. Okay. So I can write on test start, on test start. So, okay, again on test start, the which test case test name is. Okay, so I'm just printing test name is. And here I'm writing that result dot get. And see, there is a method, get name. So get name method will get the name of that current test case, okay, where this event will execute. As soon as you start execution, this event get executed. Fine. But again, I wanted to check whether my test is pass. I wanted to check whether my test case is fail. So you can design this to more listener. What I'm going to do is, I will just repeat it. But listener names are different. On test success. On test success will always run whenever testable success. So I'm writing here. On test success. Okay. Com pass test case. And which test case is passed, that result you can print it here. Easy? Similarly, on test failure. On test failure you are having, let me again confirm the name. It's the on test failure, right? And this listener will, when it will execute it, whenever test case is failed. So here let me update on test failure, okay, executes or called, let me write called, okay, when or called for failed test case, better. So understand the meaning, okay? And I just wanted to print that test case name, which whatever test case is failed. So currently, I have just designed my listener. Listener who will help me to execute that entire code. And based on the execution, pass, fail, you will able to see the result. Okay, so my listeners are ready. But now I want test case. Where you are going to apply it? Absolutely on a test case? No. So let me design a test case here. I'm creating under the same package one more TestNG class. CRM app test. So I'm writing CRM app test. Okay, let me write properly. CRM app test. Okay, for listener. Okay, I'm writing a class name for a listener. This is my class where I wanted to test certain feature. Guys, please understand the topic. Now, very first, let's suppose I wanted to validate three important steps. Very first, validate sign in link, right? Okay, great. And then I'm writing this is first test case, so priority should be one, means this will execute first, right? Then I wanted to design two more test cases. Let's see. I'm writing test case number 2 for login. So validate login. Okay. And third test case I would like to show you for validate sign out link. Okay. This is for logout. But guys, we have discussed few things in the framework. To run these test cases, we need some configuration first. You need to open browser, you need to open application, and these are what? These are somewhere we can refer as a configuration part, so we can maintain it inside the base class. Agree? So can I do one thing? In my same package, it's like we are running or we are reusing the inheritance principle in under the framework. So I'm just creating new class. I'm writing this is a base class. Agree? And inside the base class, okay, let me write properly. This is my base class. And inside the base class, here I will declare every setup. So actually what I want WebDriver first. Clear? So let me create your WebDriver instance. Let's import WebDriver from Selenium. So save your code, keep your mouse pointer, and then you should get the access. So still it is not coming. Keep your mouse pointer on the web driver. Just a minute. And let me try again. Okay, still if you are not getting, then follow shortcut. I'm getting it, I will select. Okay. And here, I will first design annotation. I'm writing before class. So before first test case, before class will execute. Agree? So I'm just writing here public void. This is just a setup. Right? My setup method I'm writing. Great. And let me import before class annotation from the testng annotation everyone. So save it, keep your mouse pointer and import it. Done. What is the purpose of before class annotation? It will start the entire session. Let's say I wanted to start it on Chrome. So I'm writing new Chrome driver. Let me import it. And then I'm writing here timer also. Driver dot manage dot timeouts dot implicitly wait duration. I'm writing here off second. 10 second is the timeout. And after that, which application I wanted to open? So use get method for that. I wanted to open CRM application. And this is the home page, right? Come to the CRA and let me copy this home page of the address of that application. And I will maintain it here. Right, everyone? So before class, we'll just open the browser, open the app. Now this setup I wanted to reuse. Where? In my application actually. So very first step is I will do extends everything from what? From the base class. Clear everyone and save it. So as soon as you extend everything from the base class, here you don't need to write that statement again. Directly you can call a method from that driver. So how we can validate signing? Yeah, we need to click on this link text. Correct? So at this moment, I will write a code. Driver find element by absolutely link text. So this time I have to use a locator that is link text. Again, I'm writing link text. And there, I'm just passing this link text. And I will ask the driver to do click. That's it. Okay. How we can perform login functionality, everyone? Let's do automation on the same. First of all, inspect the element. Get the address. I can see there is a ID, right? So better let me copy this ID. Come back. And you will be writing here. So how to write? Please have a look. Driver, find element by dot ID. And here, I'm passing that ID. Then I wanted to send some data. It is all about email. So I'm just writing data test at the rate gmail.com. Clear? Done. Second element to interact, that is a password. Let's to inspect it. And here also I'm taking this ID, copy, come back and write. Driver, again find element by dot ID. And here you will able to see this is the result. Dot same case. Suppose test123 is a password. Great. I would like to click on the button. So let's click on submit. Again, there is a ID. Let's copy. Let's write code. Driver find element by dot ID. And on button, action is click. That's it. So I have written second test case also. Now for third test case, where you wanted to click on sign out. Very first, do login into application. So I'm writing some email ID password, and when you click on submit, you will able to see this new sign out link, right? So I will just better do one thing. I will click on this sign out link. Again, it is an anchor tag, everyone. So it is a link text we can use easily. So I will come back and I will write driver dot find element by dot link text. And here I'm writing that link text. What I need to do, it's a link. So just click on it. Clear? So these are the three test cases I have designed. But the question is, test case is ready, base class is ready, but I wanted to apply listener on this particular test case. So guys, actual configuration is available inside the base class. So if you wanted to apply listener on the base class, you need to apply, okay, this listener on this base class. Because base class is the main from where execution will start it. So again, the point is what? How we can add a listener into our class or test case? So let me tell you. This is okay that listener will every time, okay, look for the current event and it will return that result to you, whether your test is pass or fail. But how you can apply it? Hmm? How to apply listener, okay, listener on test. So everyone, there are two ways. Listen carefully. First way is using at the rate listeners, okay, at the rate listeners, I will say listener annotation. Using this annotation, we can able to apply. And second way is what? Using XML file. Okay, you can apply. So let me cover both the way. What I'm going to do at this moment, I will come to the base class. On the top of the base class, apply the annotation. Just write listeners. Okay. So actually, annotations is listeners. There you can apply which listener. Guys, my current listener, I design inside the app listener class. But whenever you are calling listeners annotation, you need to provide complete class object. I mean complete class address, right? Where is this class? App listeners. App listener available inside the package com.testListener. So I will copy this. I will come back to the base class and I will write com.testListener.this. This is the class app listener. Perfect. But we need to provide here class. So this is the correct syntax which you can follow while applying the listener on a test. Clear? So let me write properly. It is all about listeners. Yeah, this is absolutely correct. Fine. So listeners annotation through which you can able to apply listeners. Now everyone focus. What I wanted to run now, my listener, everything is applicable. Absolutely only test case you are going to run. So let's save the code. Let's save the base class too, right? Let me save everything. And we have already written this, okay, rule extends base class, right? So let's run the official test case and see the result. So listener will not generate report, okay? We can use a listener to report generation process. The listener will only give you result in your console. Have a look. Execution is completed and here you can see which event is started. Currently I'm getting okay on test start. That event is executing actually and I'm not able to see the past event execution. So let me check. If I come to the app listener, something is wrong. Yeah, I think on test success spelling is wrong. Just have a look. If I open that listener document, right? Hmm. Yeah, so it is double C, right? So I need to update in my code here on test success. This is the correct event. So guys, what is happen if you can see, I'm just able to see on test start, right? Even the spelling, let me change. It is just on test start. So whenever test will start, it is calling this event. But currently my test also passed, no? So I should able to see at least this event also. So let's see. Whenever I update a name properly, one more time if I run the code, let me run it. Now you will see result for both the listener. On test start as well as on test success. Okay, great. Let's close the browser then and have a look. Here you can able to see this time on test start success both events are getting executed. Correct now everyone? Right? The listener will help you to understand current status of your application. Okay, anything got failed, you will see that failure or failure event also get executed. So let me show you failure. What I'm going to do, I will make changes in the locator. You know that whenever Selenium fail to identify the locator or any element address, Selenium will throw the exception, no such element exception. This time, priority wise test case number 2, whenever we are running, it will not found locator, it will not proceed. Then automatically, it will not proceed with the third number test case also. Correct? Because sign out locator also not found in that case. See currently which event is executing. First it is completed, but here it is waiting still, right? Why? Because email address locator was wrong. I have mentioned it wrong so that you can understand it. And this time both the scenarios remaining will definitely fail. So let this complete. See current execution is still on, right? You have to check it out here. Now let me close the browser and see. Only one pass to fail. But for fail event, have a look. You guys are able to see the result here. On test failure, the two tests got fail and which is validate login and validate sign out link. And whenever successful process happen, like test is successful, test is passed. So which test case pass in my case? Sign in only, right? The first one. So I'm getting on test success. This is the first way where you can apply the listener. Okay. Now, guys, I will come back to the base class. I will comment this way. This was just number one. Apply listener. Let me show you way number two. Using XML file, usually we follow in the automation. Okay, so XML file is the most important topic. So using XML, how we can create a listener, how we can apply listener. Have a look. This is my test case. For my test case, I will design XML file. Now the number I'm writing here, that's the 11. Correct? 11, and this is for what? I'm showing you for test listener. Okay, test listener. And please have a look. Let me take the class name. So guys, XML is ready under a project. Let's open it and see. For this application, I wanted to apply listener. So always remember in between suit and test, you can apply listener. There is a listener tag available opening and closing. There you can apply listener with a name, class name. But always remember class name. Where I have mentioned my listener in app listener class, right? So this class name, how you can write along with the package name, guys. So very first add a package name into XML. So I'm just going to write here package name dot, and there you can take that class name. So this is the class name app listener. And here you don't need to write dot class or something. Just write only this much and run your code. Again, you will see the same result. One test pass, two fail. And based on that, listener events get executed. Right? So look at the screen and observe the output. Yeah, can you see that? If I come to here, still the execution is going on, right? In my console, you can see whatever test got failed, you are just able to see that result. Wait, it is still running. Now you can see 3 executed, 1 passed, 2 failed. And I can see the result. On failure, 2 tests got failed, no? So we got this listener on test failure. And whenever anything is successful, you are getting this listener on test success. So technically, listener is the most important part. Based on the listener. Nowadays in the market, there are very common utilities are ready. Means you can create extend report based on listener. Chain test reporting also they design based on listener. So this is the basic topic. First of all, you need to understand what is listener. And that is what I have covered. Clear? Tomorrow, I will show you what is extend report, how to create extend report for the any particular app or maybe for current execution CRM app. And then we will discuss about our framework. In our framework also, if you wanted to add a listener, I mean this extend report, how you guys are going to add it. So one session, that is tomorrow's session, I want for XML, extend report, sorry. So let me show you. Tomorrow I will take your extend report. On 24, I will explain you chain test reporting format, okay, which is very simple, hardly 10-minute topic. And on Thursday, we will start our Cucumber framework. Okay, so when you understand all the ways now, DevOps is done, and you are understanding now listener, extend report. Yeah, Allure report is also there. That I will cover on Thursday. And we will start Cucumber framework. Okay, so be ready for all these topics. Great. I will just push the code on your GitHub. So let me just open the properties. Okay, so Git status. Okay, Git add everything. Git commit -m, and I'm just writing listener. Okay, listeners topic added. Fine, and let me push the data. Git push -u origin to Selenium branch. Okay, perfect, everyone. So I have pushed everything on your branch. You can access the listener code from there. So grid and listener we have just observed today. Tomorrow I will start with extend report, how to generate extend report for your code. First of all, basic demo, and then I will show you direct utility, which are ready. Okay, fine. Fine. So let's stop the session for today. Try to attend morning batch, everyone. I have started with Java programming basics, right? So again, in detailed manner, you will understand all the topics. Okay, so try to attend that batch too. Fine. So let's stop the session, everyone, and we will continue remaining topics tomorrow. Yeah. Chalo. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care. Have a nice day.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.